Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alif Husaini bin Ajam Sai. My matrix number is AA200532. So today our group will present about a report of sand casting. So in this report, we have process, result, observation, discussion and conclusion. We from section 10 from group 10A. Our group member is Hanis binti Hussein, Ain Syahira binti Razali and me. My lecturer name is TS Muhammad Najib bin Janon and Puan Hafsah bin Muhammad Noor. So we go to process first. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Ain Syahira binti Razali. My matric number AA200152. Now I want to present about process step by step how to make casting product. First, we should know in process casting have 6 steps. Based on the slide, I will present this step roughly. The first step is place mold pattern in sand. Second step is set up the gating system, and the third step remove the mold pattern. The fourth and fifth step are pour mortar metal into mold cavity and wait for metal cool. This is because the flask is still hot. The last step, that is sixth step, is break open mold to remove the metal casting and the mold cannot longer be used. Now I will present the casting process in more detail, which is step by step so that it is easy to understand. As we can see at first picture at slide, we must choose one pattern for us to make the final product, and we decide to choose the bell pattern. The second step is prepare the green sand, and the green sand should be mixed with 3 things, which is sand, clay and water. The ratio is 7:3:1, where sand is 7, 3 is clay and 1 is water, and we will mix evenly. The next step is pour some putty powder on the both pattern before packing the green sand. As we can see, the pattern in the picture is not the same as the selected pattern, which is the bell pattern, but I hope you all imagine the pattern at the picture is a bell pattern. I'm sorry for the mistake. After that, green sand that has been mixed early, we will sieve the green powder before entering to the flask, and be sure to get the finest sieve. After done, pack the pattern into sand mold. Make sure the sand will be fully compacted near the pattern. After the completion of the drop part, which is the lower half of the sand mold, for the cope, which is the upper half of the sand mold, we should sieve green sand again by placing the sprue. We place the sprue to ensure there is a passage of molten metal entering from the sprue to the mold, and pack the pattern into sand mold again. After we get like the second picture above, first we can remove sprue so as to produce a hollow part, and we can remove the pattern from the flask and reattach the flask up and down. Clear up some sprue channels to be more open so that the molten metal can easily enter it. Then pour the molten metal into sand mold and allow time for metal to solidify. The time taken in 1 to 2 hours to make sure the molten metal is formed. After that, we can break up the mold to remove casting. Be sure to wear gloves, and we can see the result.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Hanis binti Hussein. Okay, I want to explain the observation that can be observed during the sand casting process. Firstly, green sand mix ratio is 7:3:1, where sand is 7, 3 is clay, and 1 is water. Okay, we should put each ingredient in the correct ratio so that the sand mixer is more compact and can produce a good product. So, in the mix, not to over or underestimate a substance. Next, shift the green sand mixer before entering the flask, because we want to provide a compress the green sand mixer in the mold. Besides that, in sand casting process, we pack the pattern inside sand mold by tapping it, because we want to get a good product and no defect on the surface of the product. Next, in the sand casting, we put a pouring cup at the pattern, because pouring cup has a passage of multimeter enter the product mold. And next, in the process also we can see we have to pour the multimeter in sufficient quantity. It's because the defect in the product do not occur. Lastly, the production of this product require teamwork, because it can produce a good product with a set time.
So, for discussion, question number 1. Judging from the way of the mold was made, which casting dimension will probably have the smallest tolerance? Describe why. From the way of the mold was made, casting dimension will probably have the smallest tolerance on the edge of the mold, because the edge of the mold is very difficult area to form if not performing the sieving process and not tapping properly. In addition, this will also have a bad effect on the ready mold, as there will be an axis of iron form at the edge of the mold. This will cause in the end of the mold will not be beautifully formed and will not follow the pattern you have chosen.
I will continue with the discussion on question 2. The question is highlight the defect that you could find in your casting product. What type of visible surface defects exist on the casting? Describe the cause and how to prevent it. Now I'm going to present defect, cause, and prevention about our final casting product. The first defect we could find is stomata, which involves bubbles, cavities, or airlock. This is because the mold preheating temperature is too low, or the liquid matter cools too quickly when passing through the pouring system. So, to prevent this problem, we must ensure that the mold should be fully preheated and the particle size of the coating should not to be fine. The last prevention for this defect is the air permeability should be good. We continue with the second defect we have found is close shrinkage defects. Close shrinkage defects caused by either the metal being poured into the mold is too hot or metal is solidifying. This is common when we make a product casting, so the way to prevent it is this can be accomplished by using a runner and gate system with rising to supply the multimeter, which involves channel for the metal to flow through into the mold. The third defect we could find is slug hole. The slug hole are mainly caused by the low melting process and the pouring process. So, for prevent this cause is we must ensure the pouring system is set up correctly or a coarse fiber filter is used. As we can see, the last defect we could find at our product is code shut with pouring fusion. This is because the metal mode exhaust design is unreasonable and the working temperature is too low. So to prevent the cause, design the runner and exhaust system correctly and properly increase the working temperatures of the mode. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, for discussion, question number 3. Discuss about permeability and collapsibility mold in casting. Permeability is an important property of mold which help in escape of involved gas away from the mold. The mold material used for casting must be porous enough so as to allow the gaseous metal to escape freely when the molten metal is poured into the mold. Collapsibility is ability of the sand mixture to collapse under force. Collapsibility is a very important property in this type of casting manufacture. Collapsibility of the mold will allow the metal casting to switch freely during the solidification phase of the process. So in our discussion, permeability and collapsibility mode in casting is very important things to produce a beautiful and neat mold as well as our safety in guarantee. It can also prevent the occurrence of too much defect of the mold. Thank you. This all for me.
The conclusion in this process is sand casting process require a pattern to produce a product. Pattern can be used repeatedly. This process is very different from the lost form casting because the lost form casting process uses to pattern only once for each process. Next, we should avoid using pattern that have our vertical side. It makes the pattern difficult to remove. Besides that, the pattern is made either wood, metal or plastic. Surface finishing sand casting process is rather rough. Besides that, sand casting can produce product with small quantity because it is very affordable. Next, sand casting process require pouring cup to produce molten metal splashes as a passage of molten metal to enter to fill the space. Next, sand casting has two parts. At the top of the flask we call cope, and at the bottom of the flask or sand mold we call drop. Next, there are three common types of the sand mold, such as green mold sand, cool bog sand, and no bake mold. In this workshop, we usually use green mold sand because the cost is very cheap. That's all from our group. Thank you and bye.